Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk about something today called tracking. You hear us mention this a lot. You know, you've heard me say over and over. I didn't coin the phrase, but I like the phrase because it's absolutely holds true. But that you've got to know your numbers to grow your numbers. And you know, in life, in business, in sales, you know, the ultimate goal is to grow the numbers. It could be in other areas, could be to shrink the numbers. When you step on the scale, maybe you want that number to be smaller. Well, the same goes for that. You've got to know your number to decrease your number. So whatever your goal in life is, whatever you're trying to do, you need to know where you are and where you're going. And then you need to track your progress through the process. So tracking the progress through the process is something that's very important every single day. I've got an app on my phone that I absolutely have a love-hate relationship with, and it is called MyFitnessPal. I love it because the results are there. It's true. It's easy to use. If I eat a certain meal, I can put that meal in. If I go to a fast food restaurant, I can choose the restaurant. I can put the meal that I ordered in. It will give me my macro breakdown, my calories, my carbs, my fat, my sugars. Everything is so simple to use with this app, but I hate it from the standpoint I do not enjoy tracking because it holds me accountable. See, if it's 8 o'clock in the evening and I want to eat a bowl of ice cream, I've got to put it in that app and I've got to count those calories, and it holds me accountable. And that's what tracking does. You know, we have a very simple system in our organization that says if you will work 20 leads every single week, make 15 presentations every single week, and then close 3 to 5 sales, 5 if at all possible, 5 sales, that's 1 sale a day. It's not hard. If you'll close this amount of sales and do this and let this be your bare minimum standard every single week, work your first call at 9 o'clock, your last call at dark 30, do this 4 days a week, you will be, not maybe, but you will be super successful in this business. And then if you want to increase that, increase the numbers. If you want to increase the progress or the success, just increase the numbers. Double the numbers and you'll double your success rate, and you'll also double your income. Simple strategy, simple system, too simple for some people. They just can't wrap their head around it. But if you will take it for what it's worth and work that system, you will be successful. But here's the breakdown. You got to track it, man. You got to know exactly how many leads you have worked on Monday by Tuesday, so you'll know how many more you have to go. You'll have to keep up every week with how many presentations you make and then how many sales you close. At the end of the day, at any period in time of the week, at any evening, you should be able to look at someone or your manager, your upline, and say, this is the amount of calls I've made this week. This is the amount of calls I've got left to go. This is the amount of sales I've closed. And you should know the numbers all through the system and also through the process, because you track those numbers. Just like MyFitnessPal app, I should be able to know how many calories I have left at the end of the day, how many steps I've taken, whatever, however you track it. But you've heard me say it over and over. You got to know the numbers to grow the numbers. I'll put it to you this way. You got to track it if you want to stack it. You hear people say, we're going to stack the money up. Well, you got to track it. You got to know what you're doing, where you are in the process, and it's got to be done every single week, every single day to be successful. So track it, hold yourself accountable. And let me give you this other tip too, while I'm on that subject of holding yourself accountable. Keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to work the first call at 9 o'clock, then do it. The most important person in your life is, guess who? You. You are the very most important person in your life. You determine your success or your failure. You determine your highs and lows. You determine whether you do it or not. You are the most important person in your life. Everything rises and falls on your thoughts, your actions, and whether or not you have the ability to keep the word to yourself. So if you're the most important person to your life, then keep the word that you make to yourself. I'm so surprised at how many people would never lie to me, never lie to their spouse, but they lie to themselves every single day. They say what they're going to do, and then they don't do it. And what happens is you lose confidence in yourself because you know that you can't trust yourself because you've told yourself so many times what you were going to do, and then you didn't do it. Break that in your life today. Break it today. Keep the promises you make to yourself. If you say you're going to make the first call at 9 o'clock, by God, do it. Keep the promises you make to yourself. The most important person in your life is you. And you need to keep those promises you make to yourself. Work the system, track the numbers, track your success, track your failures. If you called 20 people and you sold 0 out of 20, track that, know those numbers, but then track the amount of people that you actually asked to buy the product. How many of those people did you actually require that they make a decision? Track those numbers, track every single number, every single call, every time. Of the 20 people you called, how many answered? How many did you call back the second time when they didn't answer? What time did you call them? Did you call them in the morning? And the next day, did you call them in the morning again? Call them at a different time the next day. But if you don't track the time you called the first time, how can you do that? So it's so important that you know your numbers so you can grow your numbers. You track your numbers so you can stack the numbers. Track the wins so you can stack the wins. You've heard me say it a million times. Take a win, stack it on top of another win, stack it on top of another win. And as you stack those wins, you build momentum. Momentum would take you all the way to the finish line. You will be super successful. Thank you.